Hello, everyone. Geeks assembled again. Sue's over there. I'm Lee over here. And it's our second episode review of the new season of Doctor Who, starring Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor. And this episode is all about music and what it would happen if there was no sparkle in the music. This episode's called The Devil's Chord, and we have a strange villain in the actor Jinx Monsoon playing Maestro, which everybody thought it's the Master, but no. Apparently, this is a sibling of the Toymaker. So yeah, the Doctor goes with Ruby to 1963 to watch the Beatles record their first album, and music really doesn't exist. Everything is done. Nobody's smiling. Nobody's laughing. Nobody's talking. So there is something wrong. So the Doctor goes out to find out what's happening. So we'll go to Susan now. What's your first impression then of the Devil's Chord?
All right. Well, first of all, Chudi Gatwa must have grown his fro out a bit for this episode because it was nice and full. It was so gosh darn gorgeous. And the outfits the kits that Ruby and the Doctor were wearing were so chic. It was just like it was like the what was sort of cool when the Cybermen were invading and Polly and or excuse me, Zoe and her friend were taking fashion photos. That was cool.
In the invasion, yeah.
Yeah, and the invasion. I mean, it was that kind of cool. And the fact that he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just right over there right now. I'm over there again on another part of my timeline with my granddaughter. And Ruby's like, what? What? This is awesome. And so, at that point, the she was getting the sense that things were more and more elaborate with his timeline convergences and stuff like that. And the fact that she kind of wanted him to go over there to meet up with, I just thought that was fun. Like the pulling together of that moment was really great. And then the other thing it was fun that whole oh, what's her name? Um, Jinx Monsoon
Yep.
was so, such a scenery eater. Munch, munch, munch. So far out. It was just
Camp,
delicious.
camp, over the top.
Camp, over the top, munching scenery, just fun. Oh my gosh. Written by Davies and directed by Ben Chessel. And like the other thing that was really amazing in this is the reemergence of June Hudson, who, you know,
Costume designer, yeah.
costume designer for the Fourth Doctor, acting in this. I mean, wow, that was fun. And let's see, other things that were really cool about this is that yeah, the return to the 63 year and then connecting with the Beatles. I
Mhm.
mean, okay, I know quintessentially British. The show has uh you know brought in all of the various different kinds of people involved with like the future and the past of the UK.
Mhm.
But I mean, other than a few memes of William Hartnell sitting in with the Beatles,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
those are cool memes. Oh my gosh, those are some dank memes. Oh my gosh, those are the best. But this really captured what the Beatles needed to do to fix the problem of the Maestro.
Mhm.
I thought that was so cool, and I love uh, how they utilized that time frame and that music, and then like you got into the studio with them and Scylla. I mustn't forget that Scylla was in the studio right next to the Beatles, and then the London Symphony Orchestra or
Something.
Philharmonic was the London Philharmonic in the other studio too. So there was the London Philharmonic, Scylla, and the Beatles. So I mean, three of these quintessential British musical organizations, you know, and they all sounded like shit. I mean, shit. After the music was stolen,
Mhm. The lyrics weren't there, was they?
the lyrics sucked. The music was childish.
Yeah.
Stuff that like I could have written, and that's saying something because
Well,
I
that's
only know I only know like 12 chords on the guitar. I mean, that's
Mhm.
it. Like, and that's pretty serious. Like, anyway, I can't tell you how dramatic it was. Like if vampires didn't drink blood. It's like that Twilight thing. Oh, I'm a vegetarian vampire. What? Why do you like people? Oh,
I eat beetroot.
I eat beetroot. I suck on cattle. I'm off getting, a bear.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm the Beatles and I don't sound like I'm in love with you and I wanted you to drive my car and all these cool things. I don't need your help. I'm just fine. What? No, that's not my band. And I've liked them since the beginning of my life anyway. I was born in the 60s. My
Mhm.
folks loved them in the mid 60s to, you know, late 70s. And I heard them all the way through there. So I don't know. So okay, that's my opening thoughts. And over to you, Lee.
Well, thanks, Susan. I've got to say this is a big improvement on the previous episode in my opinion. Um, as Susan mentioned, camp over the top acting from Jim Monsoon as Maestro. Uh, Great character, a fantasy character, and
Hmm.
um, which we
Are you
now.
okay with that?
I said,
I noticed you mentioned that with like a cringe kind of thing happening in
yeah.
your eyeballs.
Well, I said this before about if it's going to go down the fantasy route and lose the
Oh,
science fiction, uh, for me, it's not a good thing.
oh,
And this was a fantasy character, fantastical, magical character.
uh-huh,
Magic has come into the universe through the toy maker.
uh-huh.
So I can see there is a story arc where all these things are happening magically and fantastically, and it's not really science fiction. And I don't know if this is going to be the full season of fantasy or it's just going to be a different.
Well, Space Babies wasn't really fantasy. That
Well,
was
we know what
that
that
was
was.
that was a little fictional predictive history, science fiction. And I know what you thought about that, but anyway, go
This
on.
baby was a full diaper for me.
Oh, gee.
Um,
Ah,
but back to the Devil's Chord. Great title. I
mm,
love the title. It sounds like an old Pertwee title.
mm-hmm,
Um, you've got to have a title what grabs you
mm-hmm,
in my books, and that does it says what it means on the tin. You open it up and it's all about music. With Maestro feeding on all the because it's stealing all the music talent and
mm-hmm,
feeding on it, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more powerful.
mm.
And they have to find the missing chord to send
They tried.
to send Maestro back to where wherever the Toymaker went or wherever he came from. Um, which realm that is.
Mm.
Um, and then spoilers. It took Lennon and McCartney to come together
Come together right
to do
now.
Maestro.
Mm-hmm,
I think that was an intentional pun.
mm-hmm.
Lennon and McCartney come together. Oh, your camera's gone.
Yeah, I saw that. It kind of flickered and then.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed this more. There's still the question of why the Doctor keeps running away because he was doing it in this one and he was
Mm,
scared. So I think this is going to be a running theme that the Doctor is not the heroic person as he was before.
mm,
So there's something going on there. I think.
mm.
Love the setting of '63. The costumes brilliant. Um, I've got two gripes with this though. Two.
And name them, please.
Oh, the breaking of the fourth wall.
Oh,
Mhm.
by the Maestro?
The Maestro did it once, I think, and was it Ruby did it? um, looking at the camera. Don't do that. And then
No, I think it was the doctor at the very
was it
end.
was it the Doctor? I can't remember who it was. But then the thing what I hated the most about this was the Glee finale.
Mm,
It didn't need it. Why a song and dance routine? I just don't get it. Just didn't need it. And then dancing about in the music studios, singing and dancing, and then dancing and singing on the pedestrian crossing what's lighting up, which they never do. Uh, it's gone fantastical again.
mm,
So that's my only two gripes: the fourth breaking of the fourth wall and the musical finale.
mm,
Sorry, this isn't Glee,
mm.
and this is why I think Disney is dumbing these series down.
Hmm. I don't know if Disney was Glee on Disney.
I don't know, but that type of finale,
Yeah, all right.
I just use Glee as an example.
But this was the musical episode.
It was
It
a
was like a,
It was about music. It didn't have to have a musical finale.
all right, but if it did have to have a musical finale, if they felt like that, do you think they executed it well?
No, because I hated it.
Oh,
It just didn't. It doesn't fit in Doctor Who.
mm,
But apart from that, the story, the acting up to then was fine.
mm,
You know, the Doctor getting trapped in a big kettle drum and Ruby in what was it, in a cello.
mm-hmm.
I thought,
Cello, body,
yeah, it's
but
just
there was some like tech involved with that because she couldn't breathe in the cello, even though there were cutouts on it.
yeah.
And he was stretching that kettle drum top, and they
Mhm.
don't stretch. They
It's
are they are incredibly rigid. I
Wait, he
mean,
broke through, though, didn't he? As well?
what's that?
He broke through it.
Yeah, and but they don't stretch. It's not
Mhm.
like it's not like like a rubber top. It's that rawhide from it's a salt. It's I mean it has to only vibrate this much for it to be to to have a noise, and so you know that pushing through and her not being able to breathe. I mean, those were fantastical things to me.
Yeah,
There was that, and then I did agree that I thought that the light up on the sidewalk, uh, or the crossing street crossing place, the quintessential Abbey Road street crossing wasn't really the quintessential because they hadn't put the zigzag
yeah,
things on the road yet,
yeah.
and that was different for me because I was looking for those zigzag. I don't know why do you guys have those zigzags on the road? What does that mean?
It means you can't park there.
Oh,
Near the crossing, the zigzags. You cannot park a car there.
oh,
You've got to leave space so when so if there's any parked cars there, other cars can't really get past. And
oh,
it's on a crossing, zigzags. Double yellow lines mean you can't park as well.
okay, okay.
Usually the zigzags are usually near a crossing.
Yeah, so that's why you see the Abbey Road, you see that image of them on the road, and there's that zigzag, and I was like, "Where's the zigzag?" I didn't know where it was. I don't,
A lot of people don't realise that the Abbey Road crossing is not the original Abbey Road crossing anyway.
what is the original Abbey Road crossing?
It was moved because people were going across it, taking photos all the time, causing a lot of problems on the main road. So they've moved the crossing further away from
The
where it was.
studio?
Yeah, yeah, where it was causing a lot of
Traffic
havoc.
hang up?
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's not in its original place.
oh, okay.
So,
It's like when they moved when they started flooding and they moved that S1, the whole beautiful temple up the hill.
mhm.
I don't know. It's just these people who get their uh who get their iconic moments moved around. Or like they moved the London Bridge in its entirety, brick by brick, to like Havasu, Arizona. I mean, that's hilarious too.
Oh yeah.
So, um, here's my question. Uh, the Beatles were the most important key in that time frame. So why did they include Scylla and the London Philharmonic?
Well, Scylla is always associated with the Beatles.
Oh yeah,
Well, she's from Liverpool as well, and she played the same clubs as they did. They grew up together. They were friends. You know.
did she
Um,
come to London at the same time?
I suppose so. Yeah,
All
roughly.
right.
Made a career out of it. I mean,
Did
Scylla's not.
EMI did is she on EMI like they were?
I don't know, to be honest. She must have. If they've, but there again, they might have just put her in there because she was associated with the
Because
Beatles.
she
I don't.
was associated with them. And the London Philharmonic, is that because of the the opening to one of those songs on Sergeant Pepper's?
It might be, or maybe the London Philharmonic recorded there. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But, uh, yeah, that's why there was a connection because Scylla's always connected with the Beatles. They always hung out in the
Oh,
clubs, in the
cool.
camp club and all like that. Um, but now we know. Now, but going back to the Maestro, now we know when the Toymaker said his legions will be coming. His legions are his underlings, his siblings.
His
It,
family, as it
yeah,
were,
his family. But then Maestro said, and this has been mentioned before, he who waits
is coming.
is coming. Now that's been mentioned before I can't remember which story it was.
Huh.
So who is he who waits?
I don't know, the waiter.
I mean, is it going to be another? Because really, the Toymaker and Maestro are gods, aren't they?
Yeah,
Really,
they're kind of, yeah.
they're fantastical gods with what they can bend reality, and
Uh-huh.
so is he who waits one of the big supremo?
Huh.
Are we going to find out at the end of this season, or is it going to be carried on into the next season?
Well, if he's waiting, he maybe waits throughout the whole season.
Yeah, you might never find out.
Might know. But I mean, I really it was so good to have a drag queen with like all of her glory on screen in 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 a powerful role. I just thought that was so cool.
I mean, when it was announced, that Jinx Monsoon was going to.
And her last name is from Ab Fab. Am I right?
Um, I think so, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Um,
Adina Monsoon and Safi
yeah,
Monsoon.
yeah. But when it was announced a year or so ago, it was about a year ago that um, the drag queen would be playing a character. I thought, now, is this going to work? Is this going to go right, or is it going to go wrong?
Hmm.
And it was a great character. I mean, most probably, it's the same character she does on stage in
Yeah.
cabaret or whatever. She mostly didn't even change. She was just mostly just doing herself.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just thought that was really something.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
did work.
my heroes, are always trans and stuff.
I
And
was a
this
bit, I
is,
was a bit worried. I thought, is it going to fail or is it going to work? And it worked. Thank God. Thank God it worked.
yeah.
Uh, because it could have flopped,
Yeah.
but it was a juicy part
Yeah.
and ate the scenery,
Yeah.
stole the screen when they were there.
And
So yeah, it was a good character. That character almost will return again. Maybe not this
well,
season.
what's that?
I said it might not be this season, but it might be season after or whatever. But that character, if it's
Yeah.
come as a fan favorite, will return.
Yeah. And and then was Murray Gold in this? Like as
He was he was playing the piano in the orchestra.
all right.
Did you see him?
I was thinking, I
He was
couldn't.
there. I'm sure it was him playing the piano because he looked like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And it was really great that June Hudson was in it, right?
Yeah, and I'm guessing as well. I mean, the last episode and this episode, the Doctor has been telling. Well, he's been telling Ruby his history, but I think he's really telling people out there the history of Doctor Who the past 60 years.
Yeah,
Because I'm thinking, why are you saying that? Because okay, it's called Series One or whatever, but people have seen it before. People know the history of it. You don't have to keep saying, "Oh, Totter's Lane down there, granddaughter Susan." We all know that.
yeah,
But I'm guessing because of the Disney thing, I think maybe the Disney have said, can you just put stuff in there so people know what's going on,
yeah.
why, what this series is about? They must think people have never seen it before because it's already a worldwide phenomenon.
Well, it's definitely phenomenally important here in Boston.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's everywhere.
everybody's here to Doctor Who, but I think Disney seems to think, can you just update the viewers
Well,
with
not
what?
everybody has heard of it. Like, I still am finding folks, a lot of folks here that haven't. They're like, what's all this then?
Yeah, so it was sort of for the past two episodes, it's sort of a history lesson. The
Hmm.
Doctor going Ruby, his history, and this is it as well. Uh, RTD has gone back to the last Time Lord again. Why?
Yeah, that was dumb.
Doesn't he? Doesn't RTD like the Time Lords or something?
And there's the Master
Yeah.
and all of those other ones that were saved out of the conversation dial or whatever.
So I was thinking, we're going back to when.
All of Gallifrey was,
Yeah, I'm thinking, why you're repeating yourself again? I'm the last of
and
the
aren't
Time Lords.
they all cyber time lords now, or some of them?
I don't
I
know,
mean,
but
all the people on Earth became Cybermen, and then all the Time Lords became Cybermen. So
it,
there should be a sort of a huge posse of Time Lords and Cybermen floating around in space somewhere, flying around with their little jet
he
shoes.
didn't. Yeah, he didn't have to bring back the last of the Time Lord storyline again.
Mantra, yeah.
He's done that. Leave
It's
that because
either
he found out before the
I
Master
think the
was.
only reason he did that was because he wanted people to understand why he was saving the monster that he was afraid of. I mean
Yeah,
that I just hope that they just kind of drop it now.
yeah. Because if he carries on saying I'm the last of the Time Lords, I'm thinking, oh, we're going through the David Tennant era again.
Yeah,
Until he
and
found
the
out,
Christopher Eccleston
yeah,
era.
until he found out that the Rani or the Master or the monk, there's if the Doctor can survive,
Yeah,
other Time Lords can survive.
yeah. I mean, it's like the Daleks. There's always one of them left over.
Yeah,
And the other thing is, it's like it's like the Last of the Jedi.
yeah.
The Last Jedi wasn't The Last Jedi. There was I mean, you're like Cal Kestis, like there's like that whole video game,
Yeah,
and then there's all these other ones.
yeah,
So why The Last of the Jedi? I
yeah.
mean,
Well, the last Jedi wasn't that, was it? It was the last straw. Um,
the last what?
the last
Straw.
straw.
Oh my God, you're so
Brought
funny.
the camels back.
Anyway, yeah, so like they like these things to be the last of, and I don't know why that is.
I don't know, because when he said it, I thought, why? You're just rehashing all where you're retreading everything what you've done before. If you
True.
want move forward.
Yeah, true.
um, so anything else you want to say about the Devil's Chord?
Um, yeah, I just think that I love how Supernatural had its musical episode, and I love how Doctor Who, so you know that Super Who kind of crossover feeling is happening in my inside, but you know they're all silly. To
Mm,
be quite honest with you, Lee, all the musical episodes, all these ones have a whimsical silliness to them.
yeah. Well, so I was enjoying the episode up until the singing and dancing
The
started.
finale.
I thought, no,
Mm,
you've just spoiled a good episode there. But some people will love it, and some, I don't know. We can't please everybody, I suppose.
right.
So, so what would you say for your final say and score then for the
Um,
Devil's
I re-
Chord?
I I'm really liking Tunigawa. I love it when with his big fro. I mean, I'm always telling, my Alex to grow his fro.
I
'Cause
think that was a wig.
a fro is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
and just a gorgeous, gorgeous way to have your hair. And the other thing is, this is the other movie that this is very much like is Yesterday,
Mhm.
when the Beatles forget their music kind of thing, and they have to go find Lennon played by Robert Carlyle, and he's just a normal bloke, and there's that one guy who knows all the Beatles songs, you know, that old canard. That the To be honest with you, the Beatles for it is a real thing. This Beatles being geniuses, this Beatles being translatable globally, this Beatles
Well,
being
I've
unstoppable forces of nature.
I've
And I
always
think
I've always said that without the Beatles and Elvis, music would have been stuck in the 1940s. Elvis came along in the 50s and did his hip swinging and brought, shock horror. Elvis the pelvis. He shook up. He was all shook up. Uh,
yeah,
he shook up music, and
right.
then the Beatles loved what he was doing when they were growing up.
It was
They took what he
basically
did.
taking all of the black music and
Yeah,
putting, yeah.
yeah. But without Elvis and the Beatles, music would have been stagnant.
White people music sure as
Yeah.
heck, yeah.
It just took them to turn the switch on.
Yeah, for real.
So I understand where you're coming from when you say the Beatles are geniuses. I agree with you there.
I mean, like you've got the influences of all the other cultures on the earth too in their music. It's like there's so much Indian ragas, and there's so much like sort of bebop and all those other things mixed in. It's very cool, and I'm really glad that that Doctor Who has acknowledged another British superpower. I mean, like this is the quintessential British, TV show, science fiction TV show. I mean, in as much as it attempts to be slightly serious, not just like Red Dwarf. I know Red Dwarf is quintessential too, but this is and um the Beatles are that way too. So this is two sides of the same coin, and both. I think that in as much as the Beatles invaded America, Doctor Who is invading America right now, like really doing some serious inroads.
Wow.
There's a TARDIS at Disneyland now.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, because they've got the paws in it now, haven't they?
I think so, and I think that when there's one in Disney World in Florida, um, you know,
Mm.
Doctor Who will be more and more integrated into the United States zeitgeist.
I wonder what type of rad that will be.
I don't know.
You go in there and it's huge.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, what a trip.
Yeah. Right then. Shall we go to final send score? Devil's
Yeah.
Code?
Okay.
Over to you then.
Devil's Chord gets a 10 out of 10 for me because I love drag queens. I love the Beatles. I love Doctor Who, and mixing them all together was quite a vibrant source of enjoyment for yours truly. And you know, any the fact that the toy maker was with Hartnell, and this one also references Hartnell and Susan. Oh my God, Susan! Like this is what I want. I want Susan back this series, this season.
Maybe,
Desperate,
maybe he,
desperate to have her
maybe,
back.
maybe he who waits is Susan.
Hmm, maybe,
You never know.
maybe,
Um,
maybe.
all right, I enjoyed this, but I say there was just some niggles at the end. So just for that reason, this gets 8 chords out of 10.
Hmm.
I drop it 2 because the breaking of the fourth wall and the musical numbers
Hartnell
dancing.
broke the fourth wall that one time.
One time, yes. I know Tom Baker did it as well once.
Uh-huh, he did. That's true.
Um, this was happening quite a bit in this one.
Uh-huh.
Stop looking at the camera. Just get on with the story. um, yeah. So 8. So it's a better score than my last episode. So you can see I enjoyed this one more than that one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Um, so that's our review of Doctor Who: The Devil's Chord.
Uh-huh.
Um, next time, the next episode's called Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So I would wonder what that is. If you've seen the trailer for it, you may know. Um, you guys out there, do you want to join us?
It's another. It's a thing that has to do with Princess Diana's
Yeah.
focus in a great part of her life, right?
Mhm.
Am I right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I got from the trailer.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys,
So
if
maybe Princess Di wrote it and sent it to them because she's on her island in the. Anyway.
anyway, guys. No, she's not going to do it this time. Right. If you want to join us, just contact us, message us. Just message under this video. You'll find this video on all social media platforms. We'll share it across Facebook, X, and Insta, and all of that. It's all over. So if you want to message us, just leave a message below on the video link. Let us, you need to be 18 and over because some things we review and talk about or 18 plus, of course. All you need is a working camera and microphone on the device you use. So just message us, let us know. I think that's it, isn't it, Susan? Oh, you're holding it in your hand now, aren't you? That little bell there. Remember to press the bell notification on the YouTube channel, and you'll get notified every time we put up a video. And subscribe as well. And subscribe doesn't mean we want your money. Just subscribe. Just press subscribe and follow. That's all it is. Just follow us. So that's our review of the second episode of the new series of Doctor Who. There'll be one next week, is the Susan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Susan's choosing the two casts next week, and I'm assuming one of them will be the Doctor Who. But we don't know what the other thing's going to be yet. So until next time, keep playing and listening to fantastic music. Beatles rock.